This is the Valley Today.
Yes, today is the day. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Many of us this morning hope that Mother Nature takes our Thanksgiving plans under consideration. So let's jump over to Lisa Green for a look at your morning forecast. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yes, we want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And we do have some issues out there this morning. We've been talking about that potential for some snow out there, for that little bit of mixed precipitation moving through. Right now it looks okay here in Fargo-Moorhead as we take a look at our streets. A few cars out there this morning, maybe realizing we're missing something and picking up that last minute item from the grocery store. We're looking at conditions that are going to be into the milder side to start this morning. We're in the 20s and 30s, 24 degrees in Fargo, Grand Forks, 29 degrees, it's 30 in Jamestown, and a cooler 23 in Detroit Lakes. But all in all, not too bad temperature wise. However, we do have that little wave of instability moving through that's been bringing about some light precipitation, whether it's in the form of a little drizzle or some snow or a mix in between. And right now it is centered here in northwestern parts of Minnesota. So Lake of the Woods area, War Road, Badette, back to Roseau, and stretching all the way back to Thief River Falls and Newfold, seeing this on the map down into the Red Lake area. That's where we've got that lingering area of light snow indicated on the radar here. But that once that moves on, we'll see this kind of drop its way east, southeastward over the next couple of hours. We'll start to clear things out this morning. Now, roads aren't perfect out there. We've got reports of some frost, some areas where a little bit of precipitation may have caused another little coating on those roads. So we're going to be talking about that coming up. I'll be checking in on road conditions here in a couple of minutes. But let's talk about anybody who needs to hit the road today, or maybe you're flying today to get to your destination. Well, this morning, most of us here in the upper Midwest are doing okay, but just keep in mind, we do have some of those freezing areas and some slick spots, and the area of snow is moving east. So the Arrowhead may be impacted here this morning and other parts of eastern Minnesota. Also, some very heavy rain down toward Dallas and into that Texarkana area being impacted by that as well. So you can see we've got more moderate, even some major travel delays potentially in some of those areas to start the day today. Afternoon, that again will continue to cause problems from East Texas back over into the deep south, back into Mississippi and Alabama. And then this afternoon, we're also going to be seeing a storm system developing snow on the colder side of that. So if you're heading south, that's where we're going to want to watch out here for today. And those of us heading to the east with this departing wave. So here's a look at our travel here in the valley. Expect to have cloudy conditions giving way to some clearing skies as the day goes on. Temperatures will be getting back into some 30s this afternoon, low 30s for the afternoon hours. So all in all, not terrible. But we do have to watch out this morning. If you're getting ready to hit the road, stick around. When I come back, we're going to get into the details on road conditions, both in North Dakota and Minnesota, and let you know what to expect as you're hitting the road today and maybe making plans for your Black Friday shopping tomorrow as well.
Definitely going to have a lot to go over. But Lisa, also good news, if you are flying out of Fargo or Grand Forks, none of the flights have been canceled. So that's great news for some flyers. Lisa, thank you so much. Well, one person is still on the run after leading police on a chase in the metro. Take a look at this video from one of our viewers. They captured the chase on camera. You can see the driver pull through an intersection, go over the median, and speed off. Authorities say just after 2 yesterday afternoon, they tried to pull over the driver of a stolen Jeep Liberty. Now the driver took off, eventually crashing near Hobby Lobby in Fargo. Police say that there were 2 people in the Jeep. One of them was arrested. And the FBI are searching the home of the man who shot and killed several people out of Virginia Walmart. Investigators continue to look for a motive. Police believe 31-year-old Andre Bing died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Bing, a store manager, first opened fire in a break room where employees on the overnight shift were preparing to start their work. And 2 people were killed and more than a dozen injured when a stolen car crashed into several other vehicles in a crowd of people in Chicago yesterday. Police say that the car was going the wrong way and traveling at a very high rate of speed when it struck 7 cars and 16 people before catching fire. At least one of the other cars flipped and landed on top of another. The 2 people in the stolen car died, and the crash left others trapped in their vehicles. 7 children and 9 adults had to go to the hospital. And we have an update to a story that we first told you about yesterday on the Valley Today. One person is in jail and another is hurt after a chase ended in a rollover crash. Deputies tried to pull a car over east of Horace, but the driver turned the headlights off and took off. The deputy later found the vehicle, which had rolled near County Road 14 and 81 south of Fargo. The driver, 20-year-old Logan Glasser, was arrested. His 16-year-old passenger suffered minor injuries. Deputies say the two had just burglarized a construction trailer, and additional charges are pending. And a warrant is out for a Concordia College student accused of rape at a campus dorm early Monday morning. 20-year-old Sean Anton is charged with criminal sexual conduct of a helpless victim. The victim told police that she doesn't remember most of the night from over-intoxication, but remembers having no clothes on, a blanket over her head, and Anton holding her down. Key fob logs show him entering her dorm hall around 3:30 a.m. and returning to his after 5:30 in the morning. In a statement, the school says that this is an active investigation, and the college notified the campus about the report and included support resources available on campus.
Nobody's perfect. I don't think any leader, parent, boss is ever going to be perfect.
This is a story that you first heard on Valley News Live. Our investigative team uncovered allegations of abuse against former NDSU cheer coach Verona Winkler. Now, several cheerleaders claim that she was physically, emotionally, and verbally abusive and forced them to perform while injured. Now, some former cheerleaders are coming to Winkler's defense. They say that she had an old school coaching style, but it was never a cause for concern. One of the biggest complaints was that Winkler forced some cheerleaders to perform through injuries. This group of athletes say that they aren't discrediting those who have spoken out, but say their experience is far from what others are claiming.
She was hard. She told you what you needed to hear versus what you wanted to hear.
I never once felt like she was out of line or expected too much.
Winkler has since resigned from her position as the NDSU cheer coach after 2 decades. We've tried to reach out to Winkler, but have not heard back at this time. A Jamestown man will spend 13 months behind bars for his role in several burglaries at an apartment complex. 31-year-old Lamar Williams Jr. broke into different units over the course of 3 months. He pleaded guilty after a months-long investigation. And we now know the names of the 2 people who died in what police are calling a suspected murder-suicide shooting in Battle Lake, Minnesota. 59-year-old Stephen Kern and 58-year-old Susan Kinnunen were found dead inside the home Monday afternoon. Authorities are still investigating, but they do not believe that there is a threat to the people in that area. Well, more than 2 weeks after Election Day, there was just one race for the House of Representatives left to be called. CBS News is projecting that Alaskan Democrat Mary Pelota won re-election, and the lone outstanding contest is now in California. CBS News is projecting that it will lean Republican. If John Duarte hangs on, he will give the GOP 222 seats in the next Congress, and that is a mirror image of what the Democrats have right now. While many people are escaping the cold for Thanksgiving, some are staying home or even having family come here. And there's fun for the whole family around the valley this weekend. Now, get ready to run off the Thanksgiving calories. The YMCA is again hosting its annual Burn the Bird 5 and 10K races today. The action starts at 8:30 on First Avenue South near the downtown Fargo Y, and participants and supporters are encouraged to bring non-perishable food items that will be shared with families in need this holiday season. And admission to Minnesota State Parks are free this Friday for you to enjoy with your friends and family. It's one of 4 days out of the whole year where the DNR waives entrance fees, and there's a state park or recreation area within 30 miles of most Minnesotans, including Buffalo River near Glendon, just 20 minutes from the FM Metro. And the Red River Valley Fair Association is hosting holiday lights at the fairgrounds this winter and runs through this Friday through December 31st from 5 to 10 every night. The show features 1.5 miles of lighting, animated displays, tunnels, and other attractions to drive through. More than $1 million has been invested this year to make this show bigger and better. And it's a popular spot for families during the holiday season, and Santa Village opens for the season on Saturday in South Fargo. The free events are located on Rowe Farm along 25th Street and feature visits with Santa, horse-drawn carriage rides, Christmas crafts, and much more. Santa Village is open Saturdays and Sundays up to Christmas from 1 to 6 p.m. Now, U.S. gas prices are now at their lowest level since Russia invaded Ukraine in February. In southern states such as Texas, gas has dropped to an average of $2.95, while prices in the Northeast remain elevated due to import and supply constraints. Now, AAA notes that drivers will likely see pump prices lower through the Thanksgiving holiday, and that's exactly what we're seeing here because gas prices are down today. The average for a gallon of gas in North Dakota is $3.44 and it's $3.40 in Minnesota. We do have to update those numbers. Now, according to GasBuddy.com, you can fill up for quite a bit less in the FM area. Love's Travel Stop is just at $3.05. Well, Thanksgiving has extra meaning for a New York family after their 8-year-old nearly died from what started as a routine infection. Michael George spoke with them about the warning signs they caught early.
When Janine Geiser's 8-year-old son Chase came home sick from school, it didn't seem serious.
He said that his tummy hurt and his head hurt. I just assumed that he had the stomach bug that was going around at that time.
But that night, Chase's fever shot up to 104. Janine rushed him to the hospital, where doctors learned he had sinusitis, and the infection had already spread to his brain.
It was terrifying because he had no idea what was going on. They said that they were sending in a neuro team because they needed to rush him in for emergency brain surgery because the infection had taken over his brain.
I feel Chase's case was the worst one that I've seen, the most severe.
Dr. Jared Pisapia from Maria Ferreri Children's Hospital says it's extremely rare. Estimates show every year there are about 3 cases of intracranial infection per million children in the U.S. associated with sinus or ear infection. He credits Janine for recognizing the warning signs early.
The warning signs to look for would be seizure activity, weakness, and a change in level of consciousness.
After a month in the hospital and multiple surgeries, Chase is recovering well and back to playing with his brother.
He almost has a clean bill of health, and he is acting like a normal 8-year-old little boy again.
Janine and her family are giving thanks to Chase's doctors and nurses, and they're thankful they took action quickly. Michael George, CBS News, Beacon, New York.
And 6 months after his surgery, Chase is still in physical therapy, but doctors say that he's showing no signs of long-term health issues. Coming up on the Valley today, a Grand Forks man spreading Christmas cheer to kids across the valley. But first, meteorologist Lisa Green will have our Thanksgiving forecast.